So, a lot of people have been asking me, why am I still here? Why haven't I gone back to England? Why haven't I jumped in my car and fled to the border with my family? Before I answer that, why don't I tell you the story of how we got here? So, in 2015, in April, I just left England, flew to San Diego to start my new career on a cruise ship. I was going to be a croupier. Something I've always dreamt of doing, getting paid to travel the world. It was my first contract with a smaller ship in the fleet, but it was a nice one. It had a good itinerary. We started on the Californian coast and went down and through Panama Canal and up to the Caribbean and to Miami, and then we did it again, a couple of times. After that, we did the summer season in Alaska, and then the final season of the 10 months I was there was around South America. So I've seen all the countries in that area, been paid to see them, and even got time off. Now, during the summer season, which started from June, Victoria joined the ship. She wasn't supposed to. She was supposed to be sent on a different ship around the complete different side of the world. But, as it happens, that was cancelled, and she came onto the same ship as I. So, I was working in the casino. Victoria was running the casino bar, and every time she set up in the afternoon, I was on a day shift. I was bored. There weren't many people there, so I would say hello. I'm a friendly guy. I say hello to everyone. She never said hello back. She always ignored me. So I'd say hello again. Nothing. I wondered why. It kind of intrigued me. So subsequently, she said that she was too busy and she didn't hear me and all the excuses under the sun just to say not to say hello. But it happened to be in August. We had a crew party. People become a bit more talkative after a few drinks, right? So we started chatting. We had a good time. The next morning, the night before, I said to her, look, I'll walk you to your cabin and then I'll come and pick you up tomorrow and we'll go for a walk in Alaska. Be our first date. And when I got there in the morning, I had to knock hard to get her up, and she told me that she decided only just to come with me. She had such a bad hangover. So we walked up the mountains in Alaska. We had a beer in the cafe overlooking the sea. I think it was in Ketchikan. You can Google that city, or town even. It was in Ketchikan, yeah. And then we started dating from there. That was on August the 8th. August the 13th. Oh, how can I forget that? August the 13th. It was on December the 8th that I proposed to her. It was very, very quick. We were standing in the middle of a castle on the top of a hill in Colombia. And it was time to do it. So I had already bought the ring and we proposed. I proposed and she said yes. And it was amazing. We finished our contract. I went back to England. She went back to Moldova. That's where she was living at the time. And after a few days, I went to visit her and her parents. It was a big culture shock. I was there for 3 months. I spoke no Russian, Ukrainian, Moldovan, anything. But according to her father, I spoke the language of vodka, so it was okay. Anyway, we got married at the end of that trip. We travelled to Odessa and got married in Odessa. And then I had to go home because we had to start a new contract. So we went for a new contract, just for 2 months, and we decided to leave. We were bored. So again, I went back to England. She went back to Moldova, and then she came to England. She got a visa for 6 months, and she came to England for the summer of 2016. So we left England in November 2016, and I came to travel to Moldova for 3 months. We wanted to spend as much time together. We were a newly married couple. While we were in Moldova, we applied for Victoria to have a spouse visa. So we had all intention of going back to live in England. We applied. It's a really expensive one. It takes a lot of, it's a stack of paperwork like this and about $2,000. After we paid that, submitted all the paperwork, waited for 2 months, it came back as a decline. Okay, I wondered why. So I asked them, and they asked me for more details. They said I couldn't prove financial aid or something like this. So I got all the documents they asked for, and I appealed, which is another $100. And they turned their back on me. My own country turned their back on me. And I was then essentially forced out of my homeland because I was a married man. I was never going to leave my wife or my stepdaughter. So that's the reason why we came to live in Kiev, because there was work here for me as an English teacher. I felt a bit deflated after my government had turned its back on me. And I was welcomed with open arms to a new country, a new life, and a new culture. So we're skipping 5 years now. Now there's a war. I've lived in this country for 5 years. I've been assimilated into the culture and into the ways of the Ukrainian people. And it feels like home. Now, if I were to be kicked out of my second home, or kicked out of my home for the second time, I can't let that happen. It's happened once before, and I can't let it happen again. I'm not trying to be obstinate. I'm not trying to be brave. I'm not a brave man. I'm just trying to tell the truth. I'm not afraid of bullies. I'm not afraid of my home. This is my home, and I will be staying here. So now you know my story. Maybe you might not be so quick to judge. I know all of you have been brilliant. There's been a couple of people who have asked the question. I've got nothing against that. Of course it's okay to ask. It's a rational question. Why am I still here? But this is the reason why I'm still here. And there's been a few people, some family members. I spoke to people to say, look, please give me support. Don't scare me by saying this, that, and the other, and let me make my own decisions based upon the facts that I know. If you start making me emotional by telling me I've got to flee my homeland, then it's going to cloud my judgment. I'm not going to be able to think clearly, and then I'm not going to be able to look after my wife and daughter. Now, it's been 9 days now. I've kept them safe for 9 days. I've prepared plans for escape. I've prepared this place to live. We've got food, we've got water, we've got entertainment. I'm keeping busy. So that's all I ask. Please ask me any question you like. But I don't want to talk about now again why I'm still here, because it's an emotional subject and I need my head to be clear. Okay.